I'd like to start with thanking everyone. It was an interesting debate. We had a good conversation. We reached this call. So the call that we reached in the end is we saw this as a gap sweep, and we gave the first two closing government, then opening government, then opening opposition, then closing opposition. So the reason for these are as follows. I guess it would be best to describe the debate chronologically and then to explain how each fits into the call. So in the opening half, from opening government, we have a lot of specification on why there is a major problem with unemployment, why this is something that would affect regions and certain populations to the point where we can't really sufficiently handle this under status quo, and there are many people who are supposed to be affected by this in a way that we don't want, and you explain that this might slow down and give time for companies to adjust. On opening opposition, what you do is you attack mostly on this idea would not work and then would end up being a waste of money. There would be alternatives into giving money to either retraining or simply governmental projects, and there are going to be different externalities to the environment or to the workers' terms. When we compare this directly, your claim about this not necessarily working is often either asserted or anecdotal to the point where it's not quite clear why exactly this would not be as effective. And here you do get direct responses on this being effective, coming from Hilla and explaining why workers would still have other incentives, why informing is supposed to be enough in order to achieve this, and so on. And even more on that, even if we accept that there might be a certain problem with the effectiveness of it, then the harms that you do bring are not then compared enough to the damages coming from the opening government. Meaning that even problems of the externalities or lower conditions are not then weighed to be more dramatic than simply people losing their jobs in a day, people having a worse life, not being able to cope as a government, and so on. The alternatives that you give are directly rebutted once again by Hilla when she explains why governmental projects are worse. And here she gives several reasons to that. She says that it's more expensive all in all, it's temporary as well, it relies on people having to move and so on, and then you don't show why your alternatives are then better answering the answers that you got to that. So then after the end of the first half, it seems like the alternatives are not necessarily better in order to get this done, and even if we accept certain harms, it's still not something that we necessarily weigh over the harms that we get on the side of opening government, and we might as well try. Then comes closing government. So what closing government does is they do focus more not only on the problem aspect, but in how things are actually going to change as a direct result of the motion. And here they give us three major things. The first one is about the governmental budget and why relying on more budget is something that we can achieve specifically through this mechanism, and why we need to have workers rather than simply relying on companies. This also goes to directly answer the concern coming from opening opposition about the waste of money when you show that all in all there would be more money. Also, the repurposing of this money to training is something that also goes to settle the clash of let's just put the money in alternatives. Then the second point that you have about lobbying power and the fact that companies would not have an interest of going against their own workers once they know that they need them in order to get the governmental benefits is something that also directly answers the point coming from OO on the labor conditions. And the third is the training on the job, which also goes to show why there is an element of training that goes even beyond simply providing with something that people would actually need in a way that's suited for them. I think the last point could have been weighed more. However, I do think that it still stands. So when comparing you to the two teams in the opening half, you directly answer clashes coming from opening opposition, and what you add to opening government is how the motion actually solved this, and not just the problems and why we want to solve them. Therefore, you are already above the two other teams. Then, with closing opposition, the case that we get from you is mostly that competition is a good thing. However, notice here that what you actually prove more in your case is that firms would go against their own interest by taking up this money and would not necessarily do what they need in order to gain more and to move to other places. Notice that everyone in the debate agrees. So everyone agrees that these subsidies would actually mean that companies would not move, at least in the short term. Notice that opening opposition doesn't always agree to that. So either you agree with governments, but then you don't show what are the harms out of that. You just say competition, but don't show why competition is as important, or you directly knife your opening that actually don't think that this is going to be effective. Then you have the idea of it's good for those jobs to move abroad, which is something that comes only in WIP, which is an interesting idea. However, you don't show why this is something that you want and don't prioritize it over anything else that is said in the debate. So it's quite unclear why this is important to your advantage. And beyond that, you don't add a lot to either what your opening says or in terms of engaging with all the problems shown or the benefits it shows of government